probably one of the best investments we have ever made.
Since 1973, Serenity Lane has treated over 50,000 men and women with alcohol and drug addictions. While most find recovery through our standard residential and outpatient programs, research shows that our younger patients in particular benefit from a longer time in treatment. Serenity Lane's ExSL program is specifically designed for those relapse-prone individuals who've made slow progress in primary treatment. This long-term program, housed in separate facilities on our campus, provides an intense, highly structured experience that emphasizes honesty, accountability, and a total change in lifestyle. Our ExSL counselors are specially trained to help these young people conquer thinking errors and overcome cravings while dealing with core issues that can directly trigger relapse.
I can't imagine my life today without this. It's everything I have today. I give a lot of credit to this program.
It can be a real benefit having parents that have been through so much in addiction, because when we're having to do some of the tough things where their children are going to be upset by what we do, or their addicts are going to be frustrated by what we're doing, parents are very supportive of that with us, which is nice.
Very hopeful when he wanted to go to ExSL. Actually, then it was more when he, said that I'd like to try the program. Then it gave us there was hope again. I felt like, ExSL is a good program. I'd looked into it because he'd been there a year before at Serenity Lane for 3 weeks, and that didn't work out.
The beauty of the ExSL program is twofold. One is if they've had prior treatment and they need extended care to work on their relapse warning sign cards and understand the progression of the relapse dynamic. And the other beauty of the program is for the younger patient that needs more treatment than 28 days. They can stay for 60, 90 days to understand the complete addiction cycle and process and be able to identify their relapse warning sign cards and stop the addiction cold, and then complete ExSL and then transition into the intensive outpatient programs.
Success rates have risen exponentially for young people who have been able to take advantage of this program.
All my other treatment experiences, that honest desire to stay sober just didn't really exist for me. And to an extent, through residential, I was still unclear on it. And my residential counselor just called me on the right day and asked me if I want to go over here. And for some reason I said yes, and that's where I did 90 days over here, and that's where it came from, the honest desire to stay sober, going to AA or NA every day, and getting close with a group of guys where for a long time I hadn't been close with anybody.
So for us to have ExSL as an option and something that had been so highly spoken of, it was really a gift. And I have never, ever looked back.
The ExSL program is for chronic relapsers. If your son hasn't been able to stay clean or been deceitful, caused a lot of damage in your family, then ExSL is definitely a chance for him to give back to you. Realistically, in my opinion, 28 days is not enough time to get yourself together. Sure, it works for some people, but for myself as a 24-year-old young male who's from Eugene, with 28 days, I would have been back out in 2 weeks.
One of the reasons I think the people that do 3 months in that program have such a high success rate is because the way the program is set up, in the first month, we're working through a lot of their defenses, a lot of their denial, a lot of their manipulation tactics. The heaviest doses of confrontation happen in the first month. And in the second month, underneath all those defenses, is a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, a lot of hurt. People want to look at the tactics that addicts, alcoholics use, but they don't look at the reasons why they're using them. The reasons why they're using them is they can't live in their own skin. They have a lot of shame, a lot of hurt, a lot of anger towards themselves. And once you get those defenses down, you can then start drawing those feelings out and getting them expressing those feelings out and get all that poison out of them that's been trapped inside of them for so long. And then in the third month, you can replace that space with spirituality, self-worth, a lot of the things that you were talking about seeing in people, as they're talking with you. And that's where, you know, I would love to take the credit of what goes on down there, but that's where, you know, God's working in that circle in a way that I, you know, the best thing I can do at times is just follow the wave and go that direction, because it's obvious that there's greater powers at force there than anything I'm doing, for sure.
If you are considering this program for yourself or a loved one, we invite you to take a tour of the ExSL facility and speak with our counselors and our graduates. More information is available on our website at serenitylane.org.